TBNK Sports presents the High School Football Game of the Week on the Main Event Channel.
Hello and welcome to Simon Kenton High School in Independence, Kentucky. Scott Borders along with Dave Borst for yet another edition of TBNK Sports and High School Football in Kenton County. It'll be the host Simon Kenton Pioneers getting set to take on the Tigers of Beechwood in a local rivalry that plans to be very exciting tonight. Again, Scott Borders up high in the perch on the visitor side, an unusual thing in this particular field. Joining me is Dave Borst. And Dave, you know I love coming to Simon Kenton. And why, Dave, do I love coming to Simon Kenton?
I'm going to say two words, Scotty. Kettle corn.
The best kettle corn anywhere, anytime. That being said, you and I have talked many times.
This is one of our favorite venues to come to always. And this is a great matchup between Beechwood and Simon Kenton. A couple of perennial powers here in northern Kentucky. Beechwood coming into this ball game 3-2, Simon Kenton 5-1, coming off their only loss of the season, and it was a pretty good thumping last week at the hands of Highlands. So we'll see how the Pioneers rebound. Beechwood, we'll see what they can come up with tonight to try to get back to their winning ways. And an interesting thing to watch on the Simon Kenton side, starting quarterback Caleb Farfsing in street clothes tonight. He will not play. We'll see who they send out in his stead.
So a lingering injury. They took their first loss of the season against Highlands, losing badly, 38-9, a team they had beaten 2 years in a row before that. All of a sudden, Highlands starting to look like the old Highlands, and won the game last week. It was the first loss for Simon Kenton this season, and this is a team that doesn't lose much. Beechwood comes into the game, you're going to say, yeah, but they have a couple of losses. They're only a 1A team, used to be a 2A team. Trust me when I say this team will be right there on the final day of the season, more than likely playing for a state championship, and they know how to play against tough opponents like this. It could be an interesting game with Farfsing out of the game. He's a big part of their offense, running the ball too, and they open up with an onside kick that is recovered by Beechwood. An interesting way to start the game.
Well,
Coach Marksberry dialing up from the playbook. The Pioneers won the toss, elected to kick, and that is a lot of confidence in your defense when you're willing to do an onside kick right from the open, and that was every bit of an onside kick. There was no shank there. That was intentional.
Yeah, absolutely, and a big vote of confidence and a little wrinkle, a little trickeration right out of the gate for Coach Marksberry and the Pioneers. We'll see if his defense can live up to it now.
So from the pistol formation, they hand it off to their main man, Logan Castleman, running the football on 54 carries coming into the game, has 410 yards rushing, and has 5 TDs, and that's their leading rusher this year. Of course, the quarterback, Cameron Hergott, number 3. Not a bad runner in his own right, 20 carries, 120 yards for a couple of TDs. More importantly, 42 of 72 with 644 yards passing, and you can see right there, that's what they do, as it was caught right over the middle of the field, and I did not get a number. I believe number 13 was Luke Bolger.
Really nice play there by Beechwood. And
Tristan Richards, actually, it was 18.
Yes, Tristan Richards. Really nice throw there, a little quick slant route in from the left, and kind of tough for that receiver because until these shadows grow a little bit longer, he was looking right into the sun.
You know, and this is a team that'll let you pass. They've allowed 951 passing yards on the season. If anything, it's their weakness. And a short pass over here on the near sideline was complete to Hank Birindelli, and Birindelli catches it for maybe a gain of a yard, maybe a yard and a half. Marked the ball right at the 44-yard line. I'm sorry, right at the 36-yard line. of Simon Kenton, where it'll be second down. Pistol formation, 3 wideouts on the set. They fake the handoff. Hergott didn't fool anybody. Loses the ball at the end of the play. They're going to say he was down, and he was tackled by big number 46 for Simon Kenton, Bryson Purnell, who has 29 tackles and a couple of sacks on the year.
Yeah, 6 feet, 198 pounds, and that play was going nowhere. Purnell read it perfectly and just met him right in the hole.
Wasn't much of a fake by Hergott. It really wasn't.
It really wasn't. He didn't sell it at all.
So the ball stays right there. No gain on the play, and that'll bring up 3rd and 9. They're going to go with a 5 wide out set, empty backfield, Hergott in the shotgun. Takes a quick drop. 4-man rush, and the ball comes out of his hands and is incomplete as it just kind of flutters to the middle of the field. His arm got hit as he was trying to throw. It was going forward, but now 4th down, an interesting choice coming up for one of the most infamous coaches in Northern Kentucky, Noel Rash. He's been here a while and done a fantastic job, one of the most successful coaches, in all seriousness, in the area.
Yeah, absolutely, Coach Rash. 4th and 9, and it looks like he's sending the punting unit out now. He thought about it. You're kind of in that no man's land here at the 36-yard line where, you know, you punt it, it may go into the end zone, you're not picking up that many yards, you go for it, you don't get it, you set them up in great field position. So
Logan Castleman to punt. You know, this is a field possession game. He actually runs towards the line of scrimmage and then punts it, and punts it right into the end zone. It's only going to net about 26 yards, but I wonder if that was a play with a little wrinkle. If you see something you like in the defense right there, you may just go forward with a fake punt and try to get the first down, but that time it didn't materialize, and they end up getting a nice punt away. It just goes out of bounds.
Yeah, he showed no inclination whatsoever to try to pooch that at all. He was punting that to try to get it through the goalpost if he could.
So if it's not Farfsing coming out, you've got a couple of options. Jack Nelson, number 14, is typically who they put in. He's 4 of 10 on the year. Let's see if he's the one that comes out. Well, Dave, I'm seeing 18.
I'm seeing 18, Caleb Farfsing.
So shows you the information we get isn't always good. The pitch to the near side, and he dances forward, but falls just back to the line of scrimmage, and that was John Sargent, the big running back who's rushed for 392 yards on 70 carries, 6 touchdowns for John Sargent. No score in the early going, 9:15 to go first quarter. Welcome once again from Simon Kenton High School. 1A against 6A. You would think it'd be a blowout.
A little mix-up
and there's just a play where they got nothing going as they had the lateral pass to the side, and it was read immediately. Take a look at the replay.
Yeah, a little mix-up in the backfield here. You'll see Farfsing looking to fake to his running back. His running back was already headed the other way, and it threw off the timing of the entire play.
3 wideouts to the near side in a trips formation, 4 wideouts on the play. It is 3rd and about 17. They're going to have to get past the 30-yard line for a first down, or to the 30, rather. He rolls to his left as Farfsing is in trouble, and it's caught from behind and dropped at the 9-yard line. And on the sack, big number 58, Colby Nuttall, is the one who tracks him down, and that will be a punting situation. And I take it back, that actually might have been Adam Derry, number 56.
Boy, a big, big play there for Beechwood. They should get this ball back in really good field position. Pinning SK all the way back at their 9 and 4th and forever.
So minus 11 yards, and let's keep in mind, this is a running team. They get their offense going with the run, and the kick is near some Simon Kenton players, but takes a great Pioneer bounce, and it's going to keep rolling all the way to the 43-yard line of Beechwood. So they'll have it at their own 43 where they'll see it first down.
Boy, still great field position, but you gave up about 15 yards by not coming up and fielding that punt, calling the fair catch.
We see that so much in high school. And let me tell you, the guys in the collegiate and the NFL level that do it for a living, more power to them. That's one of the scariest things in the world, to knowing that special teams crew is bearing down on you. Pistol formation again. The handoff goes to Castleman left side. He is met, breaks the tackle, and runs for the first down, a 14-yard carry. He is into Pioneer territory inside the 45.
Boy, that is where they are showing how much they miss Clay Cogswell on defense. Cogswell is the one who's in street clothes on the sideline tonight, nursing an injury. We will not see him tonight for SK.
We will go over how big a loss that is.
Oh, my goodness.
His stats are filled on the page. We'll tell you how big a loss is. That's a nice release up the middle. And again, Castleman just driving his legs, pushing that hole backwards. Castleman getting the lion's share of the carries. You look at Cogswell, he comes into the game with the sack, leads the team with tackles, and 44, has forced 5 fumbles. He's had an interception this year. He's done about everything on the defensive side of the football.
Boy, we saw him just light some people up in that Dixie Heights game that we had with SK earlier this year.
But they'll go with a quick swing pass to the near side and a good one-on-one tackle. A nice job to come up by Tyler Parks, number 30, and make the tackle, but that should be enough for the first down, and they will move the chains as he got it out to the 32-yard line. First down for Beechwood. 6:47 to play first quarter, David.
Mason Williams wasn't about to try to juke him or run around him. He was going to take him straight on, and a nice open field tackle there, but a big first down for Beechwood.
I formation, 2 receivers to the top of your screen, and Dixie, you got Dixie on the brain. Right on top of it was Bryson Purnell. He tripped him up in the backfield. He falls forward, might have gotten back to the original line of scrimmage, but actually it'll be a loss of 1, so it'll be 2nd and 11.
Purnell, another senior linebacker who needs to step up tonight in place of Clay Cogswell on that defense. We've already called his name a couple of times, getting some penetration that time.
So back in the eye. They're going to roll to the left. It'll be a pass play, but flushed out of there is Hergott. Hergott's got nothing but real estate in front of him. One man to beat it is finally dragged down by guess who? Number 46, Bryson Purnell, already his 3rd tackle of the game. But this one's going to hurt because it yields about 22 yards and a first down to the 5.
Boy, a really nice play by Hergott. He was looking to throw. He felt the pocket collapsing. He climbed the ladder, stepped up, and then he saw an alley to his right, pulled it down, and took off.
How big would this be to score here at Simon Kenton on your 2nd drive of the game?
After you've held them scoreless on their first one.
And it's intercepted in the end zone. It's not going to happen.
Wow.
Number 29, David LeCount, was right there as he had virtually no chance at getting that ball in. He had to throw it off his back foot because of the rush up the middle, and Hergott threw a very ill-advised ball that was picked off by LeCount. They'll have it at the 20.
Boy, Caleb Bush laid an absolute shot on Cameron Hergott. Hergott is going to be seeing number 25 coming at him in his sleep tonight. I mean, pile drived him into the turf. Legal hit, nothing dirty about it, unless you play in the NFL this year.
It's so hard to throw that ball away, but
yes,
that's one time you have to do it.
Yeah, absolutely. We've seen Hergott a couple of times tonight hold on to that ball just a tick too long. That's something the sophomore will have to learn.
He'll pay for that against this defense. So the handoff is faked, and it's going to be a keeper. And that is something he does so well. Farfsing makes it all the way out to the 30-yard line. That'll be very close to a first down and will be a first down, a 10-yard gain on the play for Farfsing. I mean, you're coming in with 609 yards rushing and 9 TDs as a quarterback.
Yeah.
His passing stats don't light you up in any way, shape, or form, but that's what he does. They do a lot of misdirection, a lot of play fake, and he will take off running, as you see right there. A short gain gives him about 2 yards. It'll be 2nd and 8.
SK running tempo right now. And, we talked about it in that Dixie Heights game, how many weapons they have in that backfield. They will run you to death.
Farfsing to his receiver, coming back to the football. It's complete to Evan Mulberry. Another first down out near the 45-yard line. And so a big gain right there, a 30-yard pass. with Mulberry coming back to the ball and Simon Kenton starting to get a little impetus in their offense.
Yeah, this tempo is giving Beechwood fits. Beechwood having trouble getting lined up, getting guys covered.
Favre seeing an experienced quarterback. So he fakes the handoff. It was a nice play fake. And then finds the hole up the middle, takes a shot, and falls forward near the 35-yard line. The senior quarterback, a great job that time with the play fake, and it does fool the defense and then finds the seam up the middle.
Yeah, that was kind of a read option play. He was rolling to his right, but he had a receiver over there in the flat. It was wide open, and it was his choice to either throw it or tuck it and run. He made the right decision.
There's the keeper, and he may not have made the right decision there because Jacob Sharon, number 7, met him right now, and they're going to get him behind the line for a loss of 1.
Boy, he sure did. Nice play by Sharon there. And again, SK going hurry up.
4 wideouts is the set. Trips to one side or the other. This time to the wide side. That's a broken play, and he tries to rifle a pass in between 2 defenders. It falls incomplete, but it looked like he turned one way to do a fake with the running back, and it wasn't there.
Yeah, and he's rolling to his left, and as a right-handed quarterback, that is the toughest throw to make on the run, going to
He got a
your
little
left.
mustard on it, though, didn't he?
He did. He rifled it in there, but into double coverage.
3rd and 11, they do the hard count, but then don't snap the ball, so Beechwood gets back. Handoff up the middle. It goes to Sargent.
Nice
wow,
play.
That's a very conservative play call right there. And they do get the ball to the 37-yard line. They have to get really to the 27, so you're looking at 4th and 10, 4th and 11. And the punt unit looks like it is coming on for Simon Kenton as well. So neither coach willing to roll the dice in the early going.
Yeah, I think you can almost feel the tension on both sidelines. They know how big a rivalry game this is for these two teams, and each coming out just a little bit tight to begin, waiting for somebody else to make a mistake and take advantage of it.
Nice punt.
Wow.
And he angles it towards the sidelines, but it takes a fortunate Beechwood direction straight to the end zone. I'm not sure he could have kicked it much better than that.
No, it was a beautiful high spiral. It just didn't turn over for him.
So Beechwood will take over in their worst field position of the game so far. 3:06 left to play in the first quarter. No score from Simon Kenton, and this is starting to be the kind of game we like, Dave
Yes,
Bortz.
sir. Looking like a good one.
Donato's Pizza, kettle corn, a cool evening.
Oh, my goodness, what beautiful weather for high school football tonight.
You know, we said there's a big opening up the middle, still going, and if he doesn't have his jersey held onto for dear life, he could have broken that. It looked like number 11, Brady Dipper.
Yeah, he's holding on for dear life.
And he took a ride, too.
Yes, he did. Castleman drug him about an extra 3 yards.
For his
Castleman, we've watched him for 4 years
For
now.
his
He's a
size,
senior.
he's just incredible
Oh,
to
my
watch.
goodness. He is so much fun to watch, and he is the do-it-all kid for Beechwood.
Pound for pound, one of the best backs in Kenton County. Is right there. He gets a short gain over the middle. Just to tell you a little bit, we like to tell you about the various stadiums we're in. This is an odd situation. Another very nice field, but we do the game from the visitor side where all the visitors sit. They are one of the few stadiums to have 2 sides.
Right.
And this is where Simon Kenton's football team is right in front of us.
Yeah.
It's very odd.
Very interesting that they put the home team in front of the visiting crowd and vice versa.
Castleman trying to get the corner and does, and ends up getting far enough, close to a first down, but a flag in the backfield is going to make this one come back.
Yeah, I believe that's our first penalty of the night, isn't it?
Yes, first one we've seen tonight, and that's been rare so far this year for us.
Boy, it sure has.
These are 2 very well-coached teams. We talked a little bit about Noel Rash. You cannot take away the job Jeff Marksberry has done over a number of years here at Simon Kenton. This is a team that perennially is always challenging.
Yes.
They're always ready in the playoffs. This is a team that several times has been undefeated during the regular season. Always a productive team here at Simon Kenton.
Yes, they are, and maybe not quite the powerhouse this year that they've been in the past couple of years, but that remains to be seen, really. It may be a little too early to say that. We're just not used to coming to cover an SK game where they've already got 1 loss. But we're also not used to covering Beechwood when they've got 2 losses.
Correct. All right, so back to pass Hergot, and he is going to be swarmed under. And the big man comes out. Vuk Slavich comes in and pounds him into the ground.
Yeah, another case of Hergot hanging on to the ball just a tick too long. He's got to make that decision just a split second quicker, either get rid of it or take off with it.
He's had 5 sacks this year. That makes 6. Their leader with 9 sacks, and you will probably see him at it, is Jack Milton, I believe. That may not be right. Look at the
Great
long
time.
pass. Got a man out there.
What a
It's
kick.
caught!
Oh, my goodness. Wow.
Are you kidding me? How about number 8, Joshua Derry, and really was interfered with on the play. You could have
Absolutely.
easily thrown that flag, and Derry comes up with a huge catch, but there is a flag out by the 40-yard line, so we will wait and see what it is.
Sideline warning against Beechwood.
And they
First
will throw a flag for that. There will not be a penalty the first time you're warned.
Yeah.
But that's going to frustrate an official when he's trying to see a play
Sure.
there. So they'll do that every time.
But what a throw by Hergot. First of all, great job by the offensive line, giving him enough time to slide to his left, wind up, and let that one go. Great throw. And
He
a
got
even
everything
better
on that,
catch.
and it really was great all-around play. Handoff now after coming back after that long pass play will get them out to the 40. Keep in mind they started from their own 20-yard line. We're at 1:18 left to go in the first quarter, no score, and it'll be 2nd and long from the 40 of Simon Kenton for the Tigers.
We're down to 109 in the first quarter, Scotty. This is a good one, as we were talking
So far,
about a minute ago.
you know me. I don't want to jinx
Don't want
it.
to jinx
Let's
it.
knock on wood here, Dave.
I get you.
We have not had a lot of close ones this year.
A running clock with 8:12 to go in the second quarter last week.
Well, they go empty backfield on this and get the pass out to the right side for a pickup of about 5. Nice catch on the play by Luke Bolger, number 13, and that'll bring up a 3rd and very makeable 4 yards. So the passing game right on point for Beechwood. And I said that this is really 2 different teams. Simon Kenton has a lot of plays in their book, but really the run is their bread and butter.
Yes.
And for Beechwood, they really set up the run a lot of times with their passing game.
Yeah, absolutely. Simon Kenton with so many backs in that backfield, and including the quarterback, Farfsing, that can just run it down your throat.
5.
Beechwood just picking them apart right now.
5 wide out set. They run a man in motion, but it's a keeper up the middle for Hergot, and he got the first down out across the 30 down to the 29.
Great call, great play call, great execution.
You always say, well, you're really telling everybody you're not running on that. You forget you got a quarterback that can run, and they had the option. Logan Castleman froze the secondary just long enough, and that will be timeout in the first quarter. As the clock shows zeros, we will be back for the second quarter. We're going to stay right here, actually. We don't leave anywhere between the quarter. But we'll stay right here as it is a 0-0 game from Simon Kenton. And you know, Dave, a game that's rather interesting happening in my hometown of Louisville is the good old-fashioned Dixie. I've got Dixie on the brain. The good old-fashioned Trinity St. X high school football game. Now, let me give you a little history on this, Dave Borscht. The city of Louisville has the oldest high school football rivalry in the nation. Do you know who that is?
I do not. Educate me.
That would be Louisville Male, whose letter is an H, standing for high school. It was the first all-male high school in the city of Louisville. Their letter is an H.
Okay.
Louisville Male, traditional school, and Manual. Used to play on Thanksgiving since the early 1900s.
Is that right?
For many years, the highest attended high school football rivalry was indeed Trinity and St. X. Now, I believe that has been surpassed since I knew that back in the 90s. That being said, it is a great high school football rivalry. It's the 2 big parochial schools in Louisville, and they're talking about it for weeks. They will sell out Cardinal Stadium for that, and it will be a great show. Trinity comes into that game 1-5.
Oh, wow.
And you say, well, they must not be very good. Let me tell you, they're still good. They play a lot of teams out of the state. Don't think for a second Trinity won't be there at the end of the year. A short to no gain on first down this time for Beechwood as we're back to our game from the 29-yard line of Simon Kenton. Well, Beechwood has been able to move the football now twice. If they get past the 20, it'll be their second venture into the red zone. Of course, from the 5-yard line, Hergott threw the all-important interception for Simon Kenton right now. And Simon Kenton has not had a lot of possessions of the football in this game so far.
No, they really haven't. Beechwood's been doing a good job of playing keep away.
That time they were all over. Hergott, that's an interception.
What a great play.
The big man, and he won't get many of those, but he gets that one. Jack Milton, the junior, his first interception, and he's going to let everybody know it.
Holy cow, Hergott rolling to the near side, felt himself under trouble, under pressure, tries to get rid of the football, and somebody hits his elbow just as he's letting it go. It pops into the air, and there's Milton. Makes a great athletic play for a big man, laid out for it, and came up with it.
And clearly Coach Marksberry came prepared to defend the pass, although they've gotten a few long ones, and a short game by Simon Kenton there. They've put some pressure in the backfield of Beechwood on 2 separate occasions and have come up big. And have pressured him more than that. Now that's a short gain, actually a loss of 1 on first down. A 5 wide out empty backfield set now for Simon Kenton. So they're being forced to pass the ball. And they pass to an open receiver for a first down, number 44, Alec Kaiser, his 7th catch on the year.
Really nice pitch and catch that time from Farfsing to Kaiser. A little turnaround route, a curl route, right in the middle of 3 defenders over here.
You know, there's no reason why this team doesn't pass more except they've been effective running the ball. It's really that simple. They can pass the ball, but you see right there where Farfsing, you want that young man running the ball as much as possible. An 11-yard scamper gets inside the 40 for another Simon Kenton first down.
Yeah, another one of those read option plays, this time run the other way. He's running directly at a receiver who's about 2 yards behind the line of scrimmage. He can either chuck it to the receiver or pull it down and run. He's kept it both times. Oh, what a stick.
Well, Farfsing had another good fake, but it's like he was a deer in headlights.
Man.
He just stood his ground, and number 7, Jacob Sharon, comes from his linebacking position and lays Farfsing out, and it's a 5-yard loss on the play, 2nd and 15 for SK.
My goodness, I don't know if Farfsing ever saw Sharon coming. It looked like he was looking to his left, waiting for a receiver to come open, and Sharon said, no, not this time.
Well, he wasn't scared to take the ball under his arm again and rushes out near the 35-yard line, so gets 7, maybe 8 back, and that'll bring up a makeable 3rd and 6, so give a lot of credit. Make it a lot of credit to Farfsing for coming back there. Now they're going with 1 back in the backfield. They'll pitch to the near side. It's Sargent. And Sargent finds the seam and gets the first down inside the 30, but a late flag from the back judge comes in, so this will be interesting.
Yeah,
Could be a face mask, but I'm thinking it's another hold.
We'll see what this is all about. There was kind of an alley that opened up for Sargent over here on the right side. Good patient running.
The flag was thrown to about the 30-yard line, which is where the referee was pointing, so whatever happens to the spot will be the 30 where they mark it off. It will go against Simon Kenton, and it will be a hold. So the Pioneers will back up to the 40 where it'll be 3rd and 10.
Boy, a big, big penalty right there. Sargent either had the first down or was very, very close to it. Now you're looking at 3rd and 11. Got to get to the 29.
They'll go empty backfield. You know what happened last time. Good snap this time. Fires over the middle, complete between 2 defenders. They knifed that ball in there. That was a great pass from Farfsing. And Eric Brown, the recipient, a first down for Simon Kenton.
Yeah, really pretty throw that time for Farfsing. And
I couldn't believe he threw it.
Yeah, it looked like Blake Shepard got turned around. He was looking the other way toward the sideline.
Now the handoff to Sargent up the middle, following his blockers. It's a good gain of about 6, 7, maybe even 8 yards near the 20.
Another really nice big hole for Sargent to run through. Nobody's touching him until he's picked up 4 or 5 yards.
Neither one of these lines will wear the other out. This is some beef on both sides of the football, and then you see snap there, and that's probably a legal motion or a false start against Simon Kenton. They're already backing up.
Yeah, I got a false start going against SK. But, yeah, you're absolutely right. There's some big corn-fed boys out there on both sides of that football tonight.
Sure are. So Simon Kenton getting a penalty flu on this drive, but as of yet, it hasn't hurt them. They've stayed ahead of the chains for the most part, even with the penalties. But it'll bring up 2nd and 8.
Yeah, every time they get one, they seem to bounce back on the next play and get an even bigger gain.
8.5 left to play first half. 4 wideouts on the near side, and it's going to be Farfsing on the run, and he's just avoiding tacklers to muster up 3 yards, which he earned every bit of. And I'm not sure why there were 4 on the near side. The ball's in the middle of the hashes, but you don't see that very often. You don't see a quad set too often in football.
Yeah, pretty rare. Shepard had a shot at him in the backfield. Good job by Farfsing to make something out of nothing.
There's the play fake in the pass. Has a man. It was Brown, but overthrows him this time, and he was still pretty well covered.
Yeah, he was bracketed by 2 defenders. That would have been a tough one to thread in there, and Farfsing did the smart thing and just threw it long and said, we'll live to play on 4th down.
All right, we've played to a stalemate so far. Another 4th down situation, 4th and about 5, and it looks like everybody's going to stay on the field. I have no doubt that Marksbury's going for it here. That doesn't surprise me at all. Empty backfield again, though. Each team's been able to get to the other's quarterback.
We've seen Farfsing run out of that set.
Well, he had time that time,
but boy,
break it up at the last second. Eric Brown again, the intended receiver, and he had him. The ball fluttered just a bit and gave time for Beechwood to come over and break up the play, and it'll be Beechwood football after the turnover on downs. It's been a good football game so far. Both defenses shining when they have to. 7:44 to play first half. Beechwood will be back on the attack. This time they'll start the drive off at the 23.
Boy, a really nice play by Hank Birondelli that time. I thought he might have gotten there just a half a tick too early. The officials didn't see it that way. Good defense by Beechwood.
It was so close that I'm thinking that's one they'll let go most of the time because I agree with you.
Good no call.
Now he's got a man, single coverage outside, and it's complete. I don't know if a ball could be put any better than he gave it to Josh Odom right there over his shoulder on the far sideline, and that's a long way to throw the ball.
Ladies and gentlemen of Beechwood, I'm not telling you anything you don't already know, but you've got a quarterback in young Cameron Ergot. That's 2 deep balls we've seen tonight that simply could not have been thrown any better on any level.
And it's not that it's a cannon that he has. He just really knows how to put that ball where his receiver can be the only one to get it because he was well covered.
Perfect
and now
touch.
Castleman breaks free.
Look out.
Castleman to the races. Hurdles a man at the 15. Castleman pulls a Lamar Jackson and hurdles the defender at the 15. Oh, my.
Have yourself a night, Logan Castleman. My goodness. Wow. What a tremendous athletic play. Setting up 1st and goal at
now,
the
you know how I feel
line.
about Lamar Jackson.
I do.
So I do not give that compliment lightly.
No.
And in fact, his defender was not quite crouched down. I mean, he had to really leap to get up over him.
If Logan Castleman doesn't run the hurdles during track season, I imagine the coach will be contacting him come Monday morning at school.
You're going to see that getting picked up by a few local TV networks, I
would
think.
Certainly think
Told
so.
somebody, thank heavens you're able to see it on TBNK.
You know, Scotty, while we've got a break here, I want to say one of the other reasons that we love coming to Simon Kenton, look at this crowd.
Yeah.
I mean, this is a full house on
Every
both
game.
sides.
Correct.
Every game we come to, it's like this. But the Beechwood-SK rivalry is so special, and it's just so neat to look across and see a sea of blue in the home bleachers over there and people ringing the track outside the fence. This is what Friday Night Lights is all about.
It's exciting for us. It has been a fantastic game. Great
Boy,
highlights,
sure has.
great defensive efforts, big hits. But as of yet, nobody's hit pay dirt. So once again, Beechwood in the red zone. Let's see what they do with it. Handoff is met immediately shy of the line of scrimmage, and that's going to push him back. So the ball was marked at the 8. Let's see where they mark this. Might have gotten back to the line of scrimmage. It'll be 2nd and goal.
Guess who again on the tackle? Bryson Purnell stepping in
He
for
has
the
just
Clay
been
Cogswell. He's
all over the field. He really has.
Having a big night on the defensive side for SK.
And that's what has to happen. Somebody has to stand up
Yes.
and in that situation for your guy that's injured, and Purnell's showing that he's the man tonight.
Absolutely. We mentioned it before. Clay Cogswell, the heart and soul of that SK defense. He is an absolute animal out there, and somebody needed to step up and try to fill those shoes, and Purnell's doing a good job tonight.
We got 3 wideouts to the near side, 4 on the play. 1 setbacks Castleman. They're going to the wideout on the right, and he zigged and somebody zagged as there was nobody there.
Yeah, his receiver fell down. It was John Odom he was going for, who had the really nice deep catch right in front of us at midfield, and he went to make his outbreak, and his feet just went out from under him.
So that'll bring up 3rd and goal, and again, this is where Simon Kenton got stingy before, and they did it with pressure on the quarterback. At 3rd, I said 3rd and 4, it's 3rd and goal, so they're at the 7-yard line. So right here, you got to think it's a passing down. You got to believe Simon Kenton will be coming with some kind of blitz.
And Scott Odom is limping noticeably coming back to the huddle. He split out to the right. Keep an eye on that if they look his way again.
Well, there's a screen pass set up perfectly. One man to beat. He does. Touchdown, Castleman. They caught Simon Kenton asleep. They were moving on defense when the ball was snapped. They had one chance to get the quarterback and one chance to get the receiver and couldn't connect either time. A touchdown from 7 yards out for Beechwood. They strike first and lead 6-0.
Boy, perfectly executed screen pass by the Tigers. My goodness, Hergott backpedaling as the rush was right in his face, held on to the very last second, and there's Castleman all alone. And once he got the ball, turned on the Jets and able to beat him to the corner.
Extra point, up and good. Now, this is a case of 2 coaches playing a chess match.
Yes.
Coach Marksberry, knowing he got to Hergott on that last play when they were at the 5 in the red zone back in the first quarter, runs the same thing again. Noel Rash has a feeling that's coming and has the perfect play call and executes it there flawlessly for the touchdown.
Boy, we have seen just 2 excellent play calls out of Beechwood in crucial situations tonight. One, a 3rd down conversion earlier when they called a quarterback draw. And that time, the screen pass, just an outstanding coaching job on the other sideline. And that's not taking anything away from SK. They're doing a great job as well. Just a tremendous ball game to this point. It's still 6:26 to go till halftime.
Now, granted, you're kind of inviting on that kind of screen pass, you're inviting that end to just come right after the quarterback.
Yeah.
That's essentially what you're doing. You're opening the way for him to do it and for everybody to freeze just a little bit, and then they run the screen the other way, counting on the rest of the defense to be trying to penetrate, and that's what happened.
Beautifully executed. Well coached.
So 7-0. Beechwood strikes first. They kick off short. Taken at the 15. Still on his feet out past the 30. So a nice return for Simon Kenton, and that was number 23, Isaac Blyer.
Yeah, good job by Blyer that time, breaking the first tackle and picking up another 4 or 5 yards.
And we are at the time of the game where the lights come on in the press box.
Yes.
Got to see our notes.
I'm getting too old to try to see in the dark now, unfortunately.
All I can see is my bag of kettle corn.
It is calling to you out of the corner of your eye, isn't it? 6:20, and you can tear.
I'll have to share about my dilemma a little bit later as we see a handoff. Sargent trying to get the corners already in trouble. He somehow turns it into a 1-yard gain, but Beechwood a nice job to string that play out. I get my popcorn right out of the kettle.
Yes.
As it has to be eaten.
Sure.
I'm so excited. Immediately they do the national anthem.
Yeah.
Now here's the dilemma. I have popcorn in my hand after digging into the bag. And you know me, I will not kneel during the national anthem. We'll wait till after this play. You see the rollout. Pass on the dead run is complete. Alec Kaiser caught it, but Boy, Farfsing's showing me something with his arm today.
Man, no kidding. That took some arm strength, throwing on the run and almost back across his body. That was kind of a dangerous throw.
It took a solid throw.
Yeah.
So they're going hurry up again. 3 wideouts to the top. Dangerous snap. They fake the handoff for a wide receiver screen. They get the block. He cuts to the outsides. Got more inside the 40. Simon Kent with another first down, and here come the Pioneers. But anyway, Dave, I don't kneel during the national anthem, but do I eat popcorn during the playing of the national anthem with it getting colder by the second in my hand?
I understand how that could be a dilemma.
I'm not going to tell you what I did as sergeant for a short gain up the middle. I won't tell you. Well, I'll just leave that in suspense.
I'm not sure which would be more disrespectful, frankly, kneeling or making the lip-smacking chewing sound.
But I will say
during
the devil in his temptation was right there on my shoulder. The evil villain himself, and
oh my goodness,
that's hard to put in this announcer's size.
Boy, nice fake,
He's got the corner. Down near the 30-yard line. And that's good enough for another first down, and Simon Kenton back on the attack.
Boy, just really impressed with Farfsing and his ball skills on the ball fakes. A really good job of selling the fake to the running back and tucking it away.
That's why he garners so many rushing yards.
Yeah. Nobody realizes he has the ball.
It's all in how he starts, and you're right. It takes you 2 or 3 yards to understand, hey, he's running with it.
Yeah.
There's a handoff up the middle for a short gain.
Nice job of the Beechwood defense that time, reading that play and grabbing Sargent right at the line.
They're going to say he lost a half yard. The mark it right on the other side of the 30, so it'll be second. We'll call it 2nd and 10 still.
Yeah, still.
Clock running at 4.5 left in the first half, 7-0. Beechwood with about a 77-yard drive, capped off by a 7-yard screen pass. Now Simon Kenton, a little bit of a rush. Passes, open receiver, left side, first down, inside the 20. Pioneers in the red zone.
What a great throw by Farfsing that time. He saw his receiver, Evan Mulberry, in the middle of 3 defenders, and he just dropped it over Shepard, the lead defender.
Which, again, though, it has to have a little mustard on it. It really does, and he's done a good job with that.
Really pretty throw.
Now it's a keeper. He's going to follow his blocker, found the hole, took a big shot at the end of the play and gets up, but that's good for about a 5-yard pickup on first down.
And that was Logan Castleman laying the wood to him at the end of that play. The star on offense for Beechwood, putting a good lick on him there on defense. But Farfsing just so impressive tonight. As impressive as Hergott has been, so is Farfsing.
They've had such a string of running quarterbacks. This time Farfsing's going to be close to a Simon Kenton first down at the 5. And I think he got it by where they spot the ball. It looks like it'll be 1st and goal for the Pioneers. And again, Farfsing just finds that soft spot in the defense and gets 5 yards at a chunk.
Yeah.
Come on, D!
I mean, he's going to have a 1,500-yard season the way he's going.
Boy, it sure looks like it, doesn't it? And as well as he runs the ball, you think that's his only tool. He's shown a great arm tonight.
Well, they jumped. Farfsing went up to the line to instruct his line on what to do, and they obviously thought he was coming in and taking a snap as 3 linemen jumped, and that'll back him up 5. So another mistake, this time near the red zone, 3:24 to play first half. Good games make for quick halves, Dave Borst. Handoff up the middle, Sargent with a big hole inside the 5. Powers forward for the touchdown. A 10-yard touchdown for John Sargent, and he was not going to be denied.
Boy, another powerful run from Sargent. The senior running back listed at 5'9", 170, and that time it was just guts. Pure power right up the middle.
Now here's the unusual setup for Simon Kenton. They line everybody up on the left, and then they come back and set up. They're looking for something out of the defense, which if they see, they take advantage of. But most of the time that we've seen them, they end up just kicking the extra point here.
Christian Sager on for the left-footed extra point attempt.
And something happened. Now, if this goes against Beechwood, it's half the distance, which is hard to do at the 2-yard line. But again, you got to be thinking about going for it if you're.
Well, we've seen Simon Kenton historically go for 2. How many times? And
it's going to go against Simon Kenton, so that'll back him up 5. And in this kind of game right now, it's a very critical extra point.
Yes, it absolutely is. It has been an even match to this point.
Coach Marksberry's just got to cringe when he sees that flag coming on an extra point.
Turns it into a 25-yard field goal, basically.
The southpaw or south foot gets it through the uprights and ties the score up. So the drama of the penalty doesn't faze Seeger. He gets the extra point. We have a 7-7 game, 3:11 left to go, first half. Anybody's football game.
Boy, this kind of makes up for that running clock in the second quarter last week, doesn't it?
Hey, I want the game to go on forever if it's close.
Absolutely. Absolutely.
Yeah, we said that last week. Of course, wasn't really a game we expect. We didn't know what to expect out of Mason County, but
yeah.
It wasn't a lot.
We didn't expect that.
And Scott really just dominated 36-0 with 8:12 to go in the second quarter, like Dave said. And it's a running clock the rest of the way. They still manage to pull off 50 points in that ball game. And that's playing their third team by the end of the game.
Yeah,
and a big win for Scott. Again, a team we will see more this season. We will still see. I've got an asterisk on towards the end of the year with Campbell County taking on Covington Catholic. Campbell County with 1 loss.
That'll be a fun one.
Covington Catholic looking like the team to beat in 5A.
They are responsible for.
How about Cov Cath at Highlands this year? That'll be a game.
Oh, yeah. Cov Cath responsible for one of Beechwood's losses this year.
And it was a drubbing.
Yes, it was. 49-14.
So here's the kick. Shading a little towards the left side of the field. It's short, taken at the 10. Full head of steam out across the 30.
Out.
And it's going to be a flag that'll bring it back, but he's going to get a significant return into Pioneer territory, but this one is coming back.
Takes it back to the Simon Kenton 48-yard line. Finally taken out there by Christian Seeger. There's the flag.
That almost always is a push in the back or a hold, and I'm going with the former. Oh, he didn't even get a signal, but they're definitely coming back. Here we go.
Yep.
Looks like a push. Well, he gave a holding signal. Now, if you push with the hand held in the other one, that's a block on the back. And I couldn't tell which one he was doing, but either way, it's going to back him up 10 yards from the spot, and that's going to put him in the poorest field position they've had to start with the entire game, inside the 10-yard line at about the 8, and there's 3:01 left to play. When you're that far into your own territory, you're almost in 2-minute drill time anyway right now. So we say this before, the 2-minute drill run by every team, usually on Thursdays of practice week. There's a big hole!
Look out.
He might go. 1 man to beat. Cuts back inside. They catch up, and he got to the spot. They return the original kick, and a huge run over the right side. And that's a way to take care of poor field position. Right to midfield, a 42-yard gain.
My goodness, Jake Sharon, have yourself a night. Midfield 2:45 and counting until halftime. Beechwood could go into the halftime locker room with a lead here.
Pistol formation. Go now to the left side. Castleman cuts it back. Stays alive to scramble for an extra yard or so. Ends up with 3 on first down. It'll bring up 2nd and 7.
Good pursuit that time by the SK defense coming to the near sideline, shutting off the hole. Castleman had no choice but to try to cut it back against the grain.
Find the football, and that's what they did. And Castleman, again, turned a loss into a 2 or 3 yard gain. Pistol formation, 3 wideouts on the set. They fake, come back to the right side, and they're just going to throw it to nobody in the flat. And again, Hergott, for everything he has done well, has not run that play fake very well.
Yeah, the play fake and the ball skills that we're seeing from Caleb Farfsing, that's something that Hergott will have to learn. He's just a sophomore. He can pick that up. But the arm strength and the presence of mind right there to throw that one away when the play wasn't there and live to fight again on third down, that's impressive for a sophomore, but you're right, that play fake's
a young quarterback has a tendency to want to get into the play that he's supposed to run, and he just pulls that fake back a little fast.
Yeah, he's got to sell it just a little bit more.
All right, empty backfield. 2 minutes left to play, first half, 3rd and 8. It's a delay. He's going to run, and it was a design keeper. Good yardage out to the 42. What a decision Noel Rash has coming now. You're going to have 4th and short, 4th and about 3. If you go for it and miss, you're giving an opportunity for Simon Kenton to come right back down the field.
Yeah, it doesn't look like he's given any thought to it at all.
No.
Allowing
the clock to run. It's going to be under a minute and a half when we get the play started.
Castleman back to punt. Nobody back deep. Now they're dropping back for SK. They're not buying it, and they shouldn't have. Look at that.
I don't think you and I bought it. He is carrying blue jerseys down to the 25-yard line. That was Jacob Sharon. Now, you had a punt set up, and I think even you and I thought, no, they're not punting that.
Yeah, just a little too tempting for Coach Rash to pass up on it. What a great call again. Give it to the guy who got you out to midfield from inside your own 10-yard line.
And Darren, I don't know what Marksberry thinks about this. I don't put anybody back anyway. If I'm Simon Kent, what's important is stopping the play. You're not going to return much from that distance anyway. So
yeah, Tyler Parks was dropping back to receive very late for SK, and it fooled him. Fooled him nicely. Now we got movement.
That'll be a false start. 53 seconds showing on the clock. So not the way you wanted to start off after getting down the field quickly. Beechwood putting themselves in position to get a score before going in for halftime. You don't want to start getting behind the chains now.
36-yard line, 1st and 15.
31-yard line.
31, pardon me. They still have 2 timeouts, do the Tigers. SK with all 3 of theirs.
Not a big hurry right now. They're just letting seconds go off the clock. But again, 2 timeouts. Hergott, another screen set up, and he loses the ball. They're going to say, oh, my goodness. They're calling it incomplete, and Coach Marksberry is having a fit, and I kind of agree with him right there.
Yeah, that was one that the ball simply slipped out of the young man's hand. He was juggling it. He was trying to get it back.
It's a tough call, and I admit it's a tough call.
Yeah.
But from where we were, it was pretty easy. That ball just completely flew out of his hand.
He was trying to set up the screen again, and it looked like he was going to do a pump fake, and he just faked too hard, and the ball came out of his hand.
At the very least, don't blow the whistle there. You can always rule the play dead after.
Yeah.
Empty backfield, rolling to his right, Hergott. Hergott bought times, got a receiver. It's complete. Catch to the middle. Catch to the outside. That's going to be a touchdown.
Holy cow.
Jacob Sharon, who's been all over this field.
My goodness.
And that was all yak, all yards after catch right there.
Absolutely. He was going to be 2 or 3 yards shy of the first down, and he made a great cut back to the inside. You don't see many receivers do that. They'll follow their momentum right on out of bounds or right on over to the sideline and try to turn it up. Instead, he planted his left foot, turned back to his right, and then he was off to the races.
21 seconds show on the clock, a full complement of timeouts for Simon Kenton as the extra point is up and good. Beechwood up 14-7 here in Independence. And again, you would be remiss not to mention that it was a questionable call on the play before. And the very next play, Beechwood turns it into a touchdown. Now, credit the Tigers. That's opportunistic if I ever saw.
Yes.
A lot of coaches will do that if you have a situation, it's a close call, you've got the other team momentarily distracted, then they run a big pass play. I'm not sure that play was necessarily designed to get into the end zone. It was designed to get the first down, but a great job with yards after catch for the touchdown for Sharon. 14-7, 21.9 seconds remain here before halftime. Simon Kenton a little surprised at home. The 6A power taking on the 1A power. The largest class, the smallest class. But again, Beechwood's nobody's pushover, and teams in this area have known that for years.
Yeah, absolutely. We were talking about Covcath and the drubbing that they gave Beechwood. That's kind of abnormal. That rivalry goes back to when, at least when I was in high school, because a fraternity brother of mine in college played high school football for Covcath, and he always would tell me stories about how much he hated Beechwood.
Well, they weren't big fans of Highlands either, as you see.
Yeah.
This is going to end up being good field position unless the flag goes against Simon Kenton. If it does, that's really with just 13.9 seconds. That might just be running out the clock situation. It looks like it's going to go against the Pioneers.
Yeah, I think so. It was Eric Hoffman, who was late getting onto the field for SK, who chop block.
Chop block called against Simon Kenton. So
wow.
Backs him all the way to the 25-yard line, and there aren't many 75-yard plays in the old playbook. We'll see what Simon Kenton does coming back on the field. You got maybe a couple of passes if you want to, but I think Jeff Marksberry may just be content to run out the clock. Let's go into halftime and regroup. Simon Kenton does have the ball coming back in the second half.
That's correct. They won the toss and deferred to the second half, so they will receive the opening kickoff in the third quarter. But they are showing no signs of taking a knee right now.
Nope. They're coming out as if they're going to pass. 4 wideouts on the play. Rolls to his right. Farfsing gets rid of a man wide open at midfield and is knocked out of bounds with 5.5 seconds. So that will give them one shot at the end zone from about the 49-yard line. Now, let me tell you, that's a long pass for high school.
Yeah, it sure is. Alec Kaiser was wide open, got behind the defense and in front of the deepest part of the defense and just found a little pocket to kind of sit down in at midfield. And Farfsing, to his credit, found him and made the completion. And at least now SK has something to talk about with 5.5 seconds to go.
It's like you said, you just find that little soft spot. I've seen teams do a lot of hook and ladders here. So watch out for the hook and ladder. You pass to about the 25, 30-yard line, which is a very makeable pass.
Yep.
You have a guy in the vicinity. He turns around and laterals. A lot of people call it the hook and ladder. It is the hook and lateral.
Yes, that is true.
That makes sense. That's what it is.
Button
hook route, lateral pass.
We try to.
It's a pun.
We try to be precise in our terminology here in the TBNK booth.
Because that's what we're all about, Dave
Yes.
Borst.
Yes.
Into Tiger territory, and in time for one play, 5.5 seconds. You might do a little, I've seen teams do a little out route about 8 yards, but there's no point in that right here. And you may have a second left on the clock, but even that's doubtful, so you got to go for it here. So Coach Marksberry not running out the clock.
Trips to the far side.
Let's see if they can get him some time. They're only rushing 3, and they're going to near catch him. Farfsing buys time, and they do find a receiver in the middle, but it's intercepted, and that should do it for the half. A flag comes in late, so we'll have to get that cleared up first.
Well, I think we had some action here behind the play.
Might have been of the extracurricular variety.
Yeah. Looking at Duncan Ball, number 50, who was running toward the Beechwood sideline.
Simon Kenton's still on the field.
And Beechwood.
But either way, it should be Tiger ball. So
if it's a dead ball foul, it would still be Tiger football.
I think they're going off because I do think it'll be the half, because what happens is possession changed on the play, more than likely before the penalty. Well, you got 3 flags down, too. Whatever it was
big.
We missed it, and they all saw it.
Yeah, I was watching the action down by the 20, the interception.
Which is what we're paid to do.
Exactly. And it appeared from the corner of my eye that perhaps Duncan Ball and Caleb Farfsing got into it a little bit there at the end of the play.
I'm not sure Coach Marksberry is buying the explanation he's getting, but he seemed to. He seemed okay with that. So let's see what they call here.
They'll take it to the locker room.
Personal foul.
After the interception, it was a personal
And yeah, they're just going to take this one to the locker room. It was a personal foul on Beechwood, but after the play, so the possession change went on the offense, and that's it for the first half with Beechwood on top of Simon Kenton here in Independence by a score of 14-7. We'll be back, Scott Borders and Dave Morse, with all the second half action as we continue with TBNK Sports.
All right, I know this isn't any fun to talk about, but we should. Okay, so who's gonna do what?
I'll pack the dead batteries.
Great.
I'll only put what I don't need into a duffel bag.
Perfect. That's totally unhelpful.
No problem.
Meanwhile, I will try to comfort everyone by speaking in a calm voice.
And I'll try to get the generator going without any gas.
Oh, let's not forget the cell phones, which probably won't work.
Right.
And who is going to handle supplies?
I can forget to do a list for us.
Thanks, pal.
Well, I think we couldn't be any less prepared. I'm proud of you guys.
Talk to your kids about who to call, where to meet, what to pack. Visit ready.gov/kids for tips and information.